Welcome everyone to the Working Through It Wednesdays with the Behavioral Alliance of South Carolina. Today we are here with Eric Hunderdosse, who is going to share with us about CloseGAP, an amazing social emotional tool that he's going to share a little bit with us on how to use within the schools and ways that we can close the gap. So I'll introduce Eric. He's been an elementary school counselor for 10 years, we just figured out. And one of his greatest passions is advocating for equitable social emotional learning within the schools, utilizing data as well for the mental well-being of all adolescents. This is all important, but of course his most important work is his family, his wife Erica and Lena, Ansel as well. They're 3 and 10 months old children. He's excited to be here and share with us and connect with us around CloseGAP and a little bit more of the resources that we can use to support the social emotional well-being of students. So thank you so much, Eric, for being here.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. All right, I will share my screen.
Fabulous.
Okay.
We can see it.
Excellent. Perfect. So I'm super excited to share about CloseGAP. This is a tool that we ran across last year. It is a completely free tool. I'll say that like 20 times throughout this because I think that's probably the most important thing. We can find tools a lot of times that are great, but they cost money. And we know that schools are limited in terms of funding. And so when we ran across this and it was free, and it's still free, we knew we were onto something. So a little bit about CloseGAP. I do not work for CloseGAP, but I've been working really hard this summer to share this platform out with people because I think it's really important that all kids have the chance to share their feelings and things that are going on in their lives, and for educators as well to be able to gauge the emotional landscape of their classroom. CloseGAP was started by Rachel Miller. She is awesome. She's an amazing person. She started this a couple of years ago, and they went through a few variations of what they were trying to pinpoint, but eventually landed on this emotional well-being journey. They sat in classrooms for about a year trying to figure out exactly what educators needed to help kids. And what they really figured out is that they needed tools to help understand the emotional world of kids. And so they have been building CloseGAP, and they've continued to kind of build it and fine tune it, and they're continuing to build it and fine tune it. And so I just want to put a plug in for them. They're amazing people, and they're great to work with, and they help me immensely. So what is CloseGAP? CloseGAP is a free daily emotional check-in where students can identify their feelings. They can identify feeling sensations in their body, which we know is extremely important for self-awareness. They can identify their energy level. They can indicate specific needs. So based on their energy level, they can indicate whether they struggled with sleep the night before, if they had breakfast or lunch, if they're having interpersonal problems with anyone in their life. They can privately let an adult know that they need to connect with somebody, and they can learn simple, quick coping strategies. And this is all bundled in this amazing platform. So why use it? I know personally as a school counselor, and for many of my colleagues who are school social workers, school psychologists, we have student family advocates, we struggle sometimes with connecting with students who maybe are a little bit quieter or maybe internalize their feelings a bit more and are unsure of how to share those feelings. So CloseGAP is a great fit for them, but really for all students. I found that it increased trust and it helps us build relationships, especially during these times, during distance learning. It is really tough to gauge a kid's emotional world when they are miles away through a computer. And so CloseGAP can really help us to bridge that gap. It increases kids' self-awareness through emotional identification. We can identify and remedy problems before they manifest through behavior. So we know that kids have feelings that change throughout the day. And we know that feelings and thoughts can impact kids' behaviors. So if we can identify uncomfortable feelings before they manifest through disruptive or destructive behaviors, we can remedy that and make kids feel more comfortable at school. Data collection is also a really important thing. We struggle sometimes with how do we collect data around feelings. This solves that problem, especially for kids who internalize their concerns. They don't show up on our office referrals. And so this is a great way for us to build our MTSS system around kids who maybe don't show up on those typical data points that we use. And lastly, it's free. So using CloseGAP. To get started, this is kind of a basic checklist. And this is what we went through, and it may be different for you, but this is kind of a rough outline of what we went through to start implementation. So the first thing you have to do is create an educator account. It's super simple. And I promise you, when you give them your email, they will not spam you. I maybe get 3 or 4 emails a year from CloseGAP, and it's always about something that's been adjusted on their platform. So they're an amazing company that simply just want to help kids. After you create your educator account, going to the educator toolkit on their website is a great way to start. They have great information. They have permission forms that you can send to caregivers that inform them about what CloseGAP is all about. You can upload student accounts individually or as a group. They have a great tool that you can input all the information and it will upload all of your students right away. And they have a great video where you can share a student tutorial about CloseGAP, and it walks kids through a CloseGAP check-in, which you'll get to see here pretty soon. After you do all that, you'll want to share the created students with various people in your building, your support network for kids. So maybe it's your home teacher and the school counselor, or you may want to also have your student family advocate if you have someone in that role, or your school social worker or school psychologist. It really depends on your school, and it's very customizable. And then you want to develop a systematic check-in routine for students and adults. For us, it was always in the morning. And then some of our teachers decided, hey, our kids' feelings change a lot throughout the day. Let's add an afternoon check-in. You can do as many check-ins throughout the day as you want. And then finally, develop a systematic check-in routine, develop a routine data review for kids. So looking at that data over time so that you can see which kids are staying in that low energy level, or which kids are really having uncomfortable feelings a lot. So it's not only great for day to day, but longitudinally speaking. If you would like implementation ideas from me, feel free to reach out. My email is down there, but you can also reach out to the company as well. So now I'd love to take you through the actual platform. All right, I will log in as my 3-year-old daughter. She's my guinea pig. I always log in as Lena. Here is what kids see when they log in. They see this awesome little cadet character. It's very kid-friendly, and it's all kind of planet and space themed. So let's start. My name's Cadet. I'm so excited to explore emotions with you. Ready to go. Kids can pick from 8 different feelings. How are you feeling right now? Which is a great question to ask. Instead of how are you feeling today, it's how are you feeling right now? Because kids' feelings can change. So Lena is feeling really frustrated today. So we'll say, yes, she is feeling frustrated. How does that feel in your body? We're connecting how kids feel with feelings in their body sensations. She's breathing kind of hard. She's feeling stiff or tense. And she's a little shaky today. You can check as many or as few as you want as a kid. Thanks for sharing your feelings. We all feel frustrated sometimes, and that's okay. What a great normalizing statement for kids to see when they check in. Let's see how much fuel we have in our spaceship. This connects to how is your energy level today? Are you full and ready? Are you feeling just okay? Is your energy level low, or is it really empty? I will share what each of these does, and then we will click on the low or the empty when we get there. If kids click full and ready, That is their CloseGAP check-in. They are good to go for the rest of the day. If they click just okay, it prompts them with a statement such as, that's okay to not have, full and ready energy every single day. We all feel like that sometimes. Here are 6 interventions that you can do that may be helpful in bringing your energy level up. And I'll show you those here in a second. If kids click low or empty, what happens is it prompts them with some more questions. So let's click and see what happens. So Lena's energy level is low today. Help me understand by answering a few questions. Have you eaten breakfast or lunch today? We'll say, yeah, she had breakfast or lunch. Did you sleep well last night? We'll say, no, she didn't. Are you hurt or sick? Nope, she's not. Is everything okay at home? We'll say, yeah, it's okay. Are you being bullied at school? We'll say, yeah, she's feeling bullied today. And then, do you want to talk to an adult? We'll say, yes, please. All right, a great normalizing message. Help is on the way. No one feels their best all the time. All that matters is that you try. Here are the 6 interventions that we talked about. Breathing, shake it out, power pose, let it go, make a list, and journaling. These are great coping strategies to teach kids, and it's a variety for different kids. So kids may benefit from different ones based on their own personalities and what their interests are. We will pick power pose. So for power pose, you stand like a starfish for 20 seconds. So you stretch your arms high in the air, you stand with your legs apart, hold your head up high, and breathe deep and smile big. So what a great way to bring your energy level up. Do a little stretching. And then we click done. And that's all for now. I'll be here if you need me. A great thing that kids can do, especially as they get older, for self-awareness is they can click their profile and they can look at all of their data that they've done previously. You can see Lena's up and down. So we'll look at this month. So Lena has really kind of stuck down in this low or empty level. So she may need to think like, what can I do to get my energy level up so that it's up more often? She can look down at all of her past check-ins. And that is it for the kid side. So that is what kids see. Let's check on what adults see. So I've already done a few check-ins. These are all fake accounts.
This is amazing.
Yes, it is. We love it. So these are my sister and my wife. They all have fake accounts. Lucky them, right? All right. So what adults see? I get to see at the very top kids who said, I need to talk or connect with an adult. So you can see Lena is here. I can see what time she checked in. I can see who her teacher is, her grade level, and I can also see some of the things that she clicked on those questions. So I know, ooh, she's having some interpersonal concerns. She did not sleep well last night and she wants to connect with someone. So I consider these doors into that kid's world. I can go knock on that door and I can see and ask that kid when I go up to them, hey, I noticed on CloseGAP when you checked in, you wanted to connect with an adult. And I also noticed that you struggled to sleep last night and you are feeling kind of bullied. Talk to me about that. It's a way in. Sometimes kids struggle to share what's exactly going on with them and they don't really know how to start the conversation. We can now start the conversation with some of those kids. Another cool feature, follow-up button. Now this is only for the kids who indicated they needed to connect with an adult. We can check, any adult who is connected with this kid can check this box and say, I have connected with this kid. So as the school counselor, I'm connected with all of the kids in our building, but each teacher is only connected with their specific roster of students. If that teacher follows up with Lena and she clicks this box, myself, our student family advocate, all the people connected with that kid can see who checked in with that adult. And so we're not all racing to that kid. I can go check in with that teacher when they're free and I can see what happened with that child. Down below, you can see in ranking order by who needs support the most, the kids who have checked in today. So my sister Carrie, she's having some home concerns, so I can check in with her at some point if I really need to, or her teacher can do that as well. we can also go into each child's account and we can see their history as well. So we can look at the past month and we can see Lena's graph just like she can see her graph. We have personally started to pull this into our MTSS system. And so we're trying to figure out, and we're still working and building the plane on how can we incorporate this data into helping us identify students who may need extra support, students who may need some small group support or maybe some check-in, check-out support. This is not our only data source, but it is one more really big piece of our data that we utilize to identify students who may need extra support. And that is CloseGAP.
Wow, I'm blown away. So you're utilizing technology, uplifting data to make sure that every student, you're able to get like a pulse check on every single child in the building and check in without having to overburden anyone. You're using this tool that's right at our fingertips. And like you said, with this virtual learning right now, it's such a great time. I mean, this is an amazing tool anyways, but especially right now to be able to instill social emotional learning and close that gap. That's what this is. It's just, I'm blown away. I'm very excited. I can't wait to implement it within the schools that I work in as well. So thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely. I am just honored to be able to share it for CloseGAP, for the creators, because it's an amazing tool and I want more people to be able to utilize it. So
yes, absolutely. And it's free.
And it's free.
Can't beat that part. Well, thank you so much, Eric. Appreciate you. With the Behavioral Alliance of South Carolina, please go back and fill out our survey at the end. It was on the QR code at the beginning of this presentation, and it'll be linked below in the comment section as well. So let us hear your comments, your aha moments, anything that we can do to support you. Once again, from the Behavioral Alliance of South Carolina, this is Working Through It Wednesday. Have a great day.